Is America a Christian nation? There's a lot of confusion today, but we've really got to pop the bubble and really explode the myth. Because on our last video, we talked about the realities. Now I want you to stop and think for a minute. You know, when the Pilgrims came to America, just like this, and I've been to Plymouth Rock, you know what? Their Mayflower Compact said that they came here for the glory of God and for the advancement of the Christian faith. That's why they said they came. And so when you say, well, we don't need any religious symbolism, well, how do you erase that which is reality? Think about this, the Liberty Bell. What's on the Liberty Bell? Leviticus chapter 25. And that Liberty Bell tells us about proclaiming liberty throughout the land. That was what Moses was declaring in that book as Israel came out of bondage. Now there are other symbols. How about the Great Seal? Do you know that in July 4th, 1776, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams were given the task of come up with a seal. Guess what the picture and the image was for the seal? Again, it was Moses bringing people out of bondage into freedom. How about this? What about the Statue of Liberty? Do you know 100 years later, Frederick Bartol from France came up with the design. And what he did was this. He said, we need something that's going to take like a Roman image, and what it was a woman, and then she has spikes coming out of light, and in her arms, she's holding tablets, just like Moses had the tablets of stone, the Ten Commandments. And at her feet, there's a breaking of the shackles. And what it's symbolizing is we have the law and we have freedom. And the two of those together are symbolizing what America is all about. So when the immigrants came through and they would see, you know, give us your teeming poor masses that are yearning to be free, they were talking about coming to a nation where there would be law based on biblical principles, Judeo-Christian foundations, and a freedom in the new so-called promised land. We're living in a time where there's many people that are trying to erase these symbols and say there's no Christian base to our nation, but it's not true. Because on our dollars it says it, and it's reality. In God we trust. This is what we're all about as a nation, and we're trying to recover and reclaim this in this hour. And so there's a myth. And you know what that myth is? There's a myth of the separation of church and state, and that has to be punctured and blown to smithereens.